Two of the young teams in Suffolk League One, Hills East and Northport, come into today with identical 7-4 records. Not wanting to leave anything to chance, both know a win is needed to keep pace in the race for a postseason spot. It's Suffolk County Boys Lacrosse next on MSG Varsity.
Welcome to MSG Varsity's Camera One presentation of Boys High School Lacrosse.
From Half Hollow Hills East High School, it's a Suffolk County League One showdown with Hills East hosting Northport. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Hills East High School. Matt Shortis with you on MSG Varsity. These two teams, Northport, Hills East, both very similar in terms of play, in terms of their program this year. Aside from the records, which are identical at 7-4, they've both kind of had similar ups and downs throughout the year. They're both trying to find that right mix, that right complement of ingredients as they head into postseason play, both hoping to be in the postseason. And right now, if it did start today, they would both be in the playoffs. But both coaches know you can't count on anything. You never know how the power rankings are going to shake out. You'll only know once the season, the regular season that is, comes to an end. We'll focus on two of the attackers today. First, it's a young gun for Northport, the sophomore Brian Cannon. He's leading the team with 28 goals and 21 assists. The second-year guy as a sophomore. He's dynamic, he's a shifty guy, and he's going to play college lacrosse. Already decided as a sophomore to head down to Chapel Hill and play for UNC. And a junior on the other end for Hills East, Anthony Ramazel, the captain as a junior, which Gordy Hodgson, the head coach of Hills East, says is a very rare thing. He was the Rookie of the Year in Suffolk County last year, a righty and lefty combo guy, strong behind the cage, and he is committed to the University of Lehigh. So Hills East and Northport, again, they battle for playoff positioning. Somebody will get their 8th win of the season. Face-off and starting lineups coming up on MSG Varsity. Matt Shortis, Aaron Lamont back with you from Hills East High School. Time to take a look at the starting lineups. Northport and Hills East, both with identical 7-4 records. And the Tigers of Northport, coached by George Searing in his 5th season, 26 seasons overall, was the state champ with Northport back in 2001. And he will line it up like this. The goalie will be Troiano. On the defensive side, it'll be Barry, Clementi, and Cannon. The midfield, Pace, Glancy, and Trainer. And the attack, it's the younger brother, Brian Cannon, Gilroy, and Napolitano. And then on the other end for Hills East, coached by Gordy Hodgson in his 2nd stint as well with Hills East. They'll start the freshman Jordan Eccles at goalie. The defense, LaRusso, Geringswald, and down. In the midfield, it's Rothstein, Burcham, and Shapiro. And the attack is Parker, Bockelman, and Ramazel. And we're underway. Face-off won and picked up by Austin Henningsen. He's around 70% on the year. They get it inside to Ryan Napolitano, and Northport will start the offense. Napolitano, the 2nd-year guy, heading to Towson. Northport, a team that last year they were 8-6 in the league. Right now 6-4, so right on pace for a fairly similar finish. Lost to Ward Melville in the quarterfinals of the League One championships. Here's a pass right on the doorstep. Nice coverage defensively though by Cody Dowd, helping out on the slide right on the crease. Northport able to recover. Trainer with it. Low shot, and that's a goal. Jack Pace from near the top of the restraining box puts it in, and Northport takes a 1-0 lead just 46 seconds in. That is Pace's 14th goal of the season, and it just looked like Eccles didn't get a great read on it, and he was screened a little bit from up top. Face-off won. Cameron Pierce, the long pole, picks up the ground ball. Northport 2-0 on the face-offs today. here come the Tigers again. Very young team, only 6 seniors on the squad, and only 3 that will start and play a lot of time. John Glancy holding on, and you take a look at their face-off guy, a freshman. They have a junior and a sophomore, 2 of their better attackers. Here's Trainer starting to dodge again, shoots one high, and closest to it was Napolitano. Senior leader on the attack. Just 2 captains, the goalie Troiano and the defender Jeff Cannon. Here's a quick turnaround shot, and that's going to be a goal. Ryan Napolitano, quick off the restart, turns around, goes short side, and puts it in, beating Eckholtz. So just 2 minutes in, Northport has a 2-0 lead, but now a face-off infraction gives the ball to Hills East. Carter Jones will bring it in. Hills got off to a little bit of a slow start, but 7-4 on the season. And 2 very evenly matched teams. Here's Jordan Shapiro. Behind the cage it comes for Ramazel, our highlight player, second leading scorer on Hills East, behind the All-American Jesse Parker. Behind the cage, controlled by Justin Rothstein. Rothstein, a first-year guy, comes all the way out. Again for Shapiro. Third-year player, also runs track. They moved him to the midfield this year just to have a more experienced guy at that midfield spot. A little bit more than 3 minutes gone by, 2-0. Northport on top of Hills East here. As Hills East taking a little time off the clock right now. Now a quick shot. This one got away from Hills East. The ground ball comes out all the way out near midfield, and now picked up by Northport on the ground ball. Nick DeSeglia. And now he will retreat. They'll get their offensive midfield unit on. Among them, Craig Ronan. Junior midfielder Ronan on. Along with Rocco Sutherland. Sutherland just a freshman. Northport back on the attack. A little bit more than 4 minutes gone by in the opening quarter, 2-0. Northport on top off goals from Pace and Napolitano. Run a little 2 across. 2 behind the cage, 2 on the crease, and 2 up near the top of the box. Now Northport isolates up top. Over on the left side, left point, bounce shot. This one hits off the post, and the bounce is picked up by Hills East. Here comes Cody Dowd, the 2-year starter, the captain. Dowd, the long pull, trying to get into the offensive box. He does, has it, dumps off, lefty shot, and a save made by Troiano. Ball loose in front though, who will come up with it? Hills picks it up, Jesse Parker there. A good save, 2-on-1. And Troiano coming up with the stop to keep Hills East off the board. Ball goes out of bounds. Northport will clear. A little bit more than 5 minutes have elapsed in the opening quarter. 2-0 Tigers on top. Napolitano thought he might have had some daylight for a moment. Now Cannon weaving in and out of traffic. Here comes Clancy up top. John Clancy, the junior, heading to SUNY Albany. A lot of players on this Northport team, though not yet seniors, have already made their college decisions. And if and where they'll play lacrosse. On a bounce it comes for Pace. Lefty shot. Echols got a piece of that one to deny it away, but the ground ball picked up by Napolitano. Looks on the crease. This one poked away. And Steve Sarcona got the sticks up in the passing lane, and then Hills East decides to take a timeout with 5:53 to go, halfway down this first quarter. 2-0 Northport on top. You think your school's team is the best? Make yourself heard on Facebook. MSG Varsity on Facebook lets you check out regular updates on games, shows, and what the fans have to say about absolutely everything. MSG Varsity on Facebook, check it out at facebook.com/MSG Varsity. Well, Hills East still looking for their first goal. 5:45 to play in the opening quarter. Now steps over the midfield line, and now a flag comes down. It's not offsides for Hills East. And offsides is called. Looks like it will go against Northport. So Hills East will have the first man-up chance of the game. And then we'll start on the stick of Ramazel, who's up near the midfield now. Little inverted action for the attacker. Tyler Balkin comes in. As well for Hills East now in the man-up unit. Balkin up top. Here's a quick shot, a bounce, and a score. Jesse Parker is first of the game. And Hills East capitalizes on the Northport penalty. Team leading 39th goal of the season for Jesse Parker at 7 goals in a game earlier this season against Walt Whitman. But Northport continues to control the face-off X. As Henningsen about 74% on the season. And I believe he's right on the number, 3 of 4 today. With 5 minutes remaining in the first half. First quarter, that is. Here's a quick shot, and Echols now, after giving up the first 2, starting to get into a little bit more of a rhythm. Bounces it out for Dowd, who advances ahead. Here's Justin Rothstein with it at the top of the box. Working behind the cage for Ramazel. Captain, again, very comfortable behind in that X position. He and Parker could be a real dangerous combination, and that's who has it right now. This is Backelman. 4 minutes to go. Backelman, a guy converted from the midfield last year, a lefty. You always want to have that left-handed attacker. Gets by his man, tries to see what opens up, but wasn't in any sort of hurry. Backelman and Mike Barry going at it for Northport. Under 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. 2-1 Northport on top. Hills East scoring their goal off the man advantage. Hills East almost trying to lull that defense to sleep. Imagine if Hills East keeps this up, might get that sort of stalling warning. The way that Northport came out of this game, it looks like Hills East trying to play just a little keep away right now. Under 3 to go in the first quarter. They move it up to Carter Jones, the transfer out of Huntington. Jones over the top right point. Now a turnover whistle against Hills East, 2:35 to go. And they're going to get the coaches together. Mike Conway acting as head coach today for Hills East. Gordy Hodgson not in attendance, and George Searing out there talking it over with our officials Bob Hutchinson and Jerry Barata.
White, play again, 30 seconds.
So a 30-second penalty to Bockelman. And now Northport will have the extra man chance with a 2-1 lead. 2:20 remaining in the first quarter. Behind the cage it comes down at the top left point. A rifle of a shot, and that beats Eckelman. Trainer has his first goal of the game. And Napolitano on the assist on the EMO. 3-1 Northport. Both teams now 1 for 1 on the extra man advantage. We'll have a whistle on the face-off, and Northport will have the possession. 2:10 to play. 3-1 in the first quarter. Northport with the lead. Nice little roll dodge, bounce shot saved by Eccles. A freshman goalie that they have a lot of faith in, but at the same time, Eccles at times can get into a little poor groove, but then he'll play like one of the best goaltenders on the island. And they have imagined that as Eccles gets older, as he continues to work, he continues to improve, he'll even out and he'll have greater periods of excellent consistency as the flag is down.
Flash, 1 minute.
31 remaining in the first quarter. Northport their second chance. They're 1 for 1. Trainer scored a goal just about a minute ago on the man advantage. Trainer will try again. Eckelman blocks this one away. Eccles, pardon me. Guy who has a ton of potential. And another goal for Northport. It's an extra man goal, 4-1. Tigers on top. And another face-off win. Alsting Henningsen has won 5 of 6 today. We're in the final minute of play in the first quarter. There's John Glancy, the third-year guy, heading to SUNY Albany. Straight away now over on the left side, Trainer. This bounce shot whistles wide off the cage. 29 seconds remain on the clock. Coromiers, the long pole, comes in place of Steve Sarcona, so he'll now play at that top midfield long pole spot. Again, Cannon only a sophomore. He's looking to get going now. Fires one underneath. Echols got a piece of it. Rebound, another kick save. This one still open in front. Turnaround shot and a goal, but a whistle might have come beforehand on a crease violation, and it did. Napolitano very narrowly had his second goal of the game. This one loose in front. But the quarter will come to an end. Not a bad pass. But Northport has a 4-1 advantage. After 12 minutes, we'll be back in a moment on MSG Varsity. We start the second quarter. Matt Shortis, Sarah Lamont with you. 4-1 Northport leads, and the story of the game thus far has been the Northport wins in the face-off X, but a nice job by Dowd to create the turnover. Well, we saw Hills East earlier this year on MSG Varsity come back from a 5-goal deficit at halftime. And George Searing will take it, Mike Conway will take a timeout for Hills East. Their second of the half. So Hills East with the possession, down by 3. It's a 4-1 game as we start the second quarter. And Bockelman has it checked out of his stick. Nice job by Tom Troiano. Goes out of the cage to get the ball. Now Bockelman riding hard. But not a problem as Jeff Cannon brings it over. A guy that George Searing says is probably the best athlete on Northport. He's going to UVA on some academic scholarships, and he's going to walk on to the Cavaliers lacrosse team. Top of the box, here's John Glancy. Glancy starts a dodge over to his right. Fires one high. Eccles there for the stop. Quick outlet pass ahead to Dowd. Nice little move by Dowd to get over. You got to pay attention because Hills East is offsides, I believe. And we'll get back on. Here's Ramazell behind the cage. Nice job by Dowd on the clear. 4-1 Northport on top. Both these teams 7-4 overall, 6-4 in the league. Here's Bockelman, who I'm sure would love to get one after taking a couple of penalties in the first quarter that led to a couple of extra man goals for Northport. And we're going to get a ward called on Bockelman. Jeff Cannon was just all over him. Bockelman seems like he's getting a little frustrated. Glancy now over the midfield line for Northport. 2.5 minutes in. 4-1. Northport the lead in the second quarter. Behind the cage it comes for Cannon, the younger brother. Little hesitation move, this one just wide of Eccles in the cage. Jordan Eccles, the first freshman starter for Coach Hodgson since Mike Rimmer, who wound up being an All-American at Ohio State. But he surrenders another goal here, and Northport goes on top 5-1. Face-off win picked up by Henningsen. Underhand shot, this one saved. Still in play though. Ground ball picked up by Napolitano. 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. 5-1 Northport, the lead. As I was saying before, we've seen Hills East here on MSG Varsity come back from down by 6 goals against East Islip. Tied the game against East Islip with 14 seconds to go and won it with 7 to play. And a nice, again, the passing precision. And Rocco Sutherland nets it in, and it's a 6-1 Northport game. Well, Northport right now just controlling the pace of the game by winning these face-offs, but finally Hills East able to win one. It's their second win of the game from the face-off X. And Ramosel holding on to it. They haven't been able to get much going. Parker had the 1 goal on the extra man. But the ball's been kind of stagnant behind the cage with Ramosel and Bachleman back there. Ramosel, nice quick pass and a goal. Parker with his second of the game. A nice look from Ramosel as those two hook up from behind the cage to right in front of the goal mouth. Pretty good amount of scoring. 8 goals scored through the first just about 16 minutes of the game. Hills East wins the face-off, but then we're going to have a push on Northport as the ball squirted out. So 2 straight face-off wins for the first time today for Hills East. Maybe they could start getting something going. Jones with it, now moves it back behind the cage for Ramosel. And heading to Lehigh. Tries to turn the corner, gets his footing. This one just ushered away. It'll be Hills East ball as Parker was chasing after it. The best thing about both these guys, Parker and Ramosel, is that you get them back for another year if you're Gordy Hodgson and the Hills East coaching staff. Five minutes played in the second quarter. 6-2 Northport on top. Hills East, it's been pretty evident through most of their possessions today. Really want to take time, play keep away, pick your spots, and get the goals when they count, when they come. Because they've seen that this Northport offense averaging over 12 goals a game could really do some damage. Ramosel switches hands, tries to fire one. This one's going to trickle wide. The ground ball chased after, and Hills East will be right on top of it. As Tyler Balkin, the junior, was closest to it when it went out of bounds. Now Zach Shapiro running things from behind the cage as Hills East tries to mix things up, tries to find that right combination that'll work. Tom Troiano, the first-year starter in net for Northport, heading to Roanoke College. Calling things out. Directing the Northport defense, much like Shapiro doing for the Hills East offense at the moment. Now Ramosel back to the cage, fires one right into the chest protector of Troiano, and he'll try and clear. Past the midway point of the period, flag going to come down on the hold. As Balkin got a little over aggressive, wrapped the stick around the body of Brett Hall. Cannon on the man up, moves up to the top of the box. There's Napolitano, back it comes near side for Cannon. And at the last goal, an assist on one of the goals here in the second quarter for Northport. Top right point now straight away. Northport just plays catch. Here's a shot right on the crease. This one gets wide. Not a lot behind it, but a pretty good look for Jack Pace. Under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Jack Tesserero was back behind the cage waiting for that shot. But it will go to Northport. Again, remember, whoever's closest to the point of exit on the field, not closest to the end line. And Terrero was racing for that end line. Rothstein will come in as Charles Burcham gets a breather. Over on the right side, this one wide, and again a race for it. And it'll go this time to Tesserero, who was back there again. Sort of an interesting strategy, almost just waiting for a shot to go wide, but you're leaving a defender back behind the cage, so in essence, you're playing 5-on-6. But it works out for Hills East here as they try and clear. Echols, the pass bounces off of the stick of Geringswald, and Northport has it. Here come the Tigers, pass on the crease, this one goes wide. Will go out of bounds. It was last touched by Napolitano, but it was off of a shot, so it will be Northport possession. Trainer steps in the box with 4 minutes to play in the first half, and a 4-goal Northport lead. 6-2 the lead is. So Northport hasn't scored in about 5 minutes just about. Trainer holds straight away up top. Back it comes. Trainer right on the crease. A shot. This one gets through and gets in. Sean Gilroy puts it in. Got his hands free and makes it a 5-goal game. Gilroy, a guy that loves to use his size to his advantage, and that's what you would expect out of a crease attackman. Ball kicked ahead, picked up by the long pull. Cameron Pierce for Northport. Now they work to try and get it to their offensive zone with 3:10 remaining in the half. Glancy brings it over midfield. Gilroy again with another look. Echols stops this one. Didn't know where it was for a moment, but able to pick it up. (7-2) Northport with the lead. Hills East brings it over midfield. There's Mike LaRusso with it behind the cage. The long stick. That one rolls out of bounds. He was looking for Dan Bockelman. Two and a half to play in the first half. Northport the 5-goal advantage, 7-2. These two teams with identical records, but Northport has matched up very nicely with Hills East today, winning the face-offs and taking care of business. Down, inside, and a save made by Troiano. And a big save, keeping Hills East off the board in the closing minutes. But Ramsell was right on the doorstep. Troiano standing tall between the pipes. And Northport wants to talk things over with a timeout. Hills East has it with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 7-2, Northport on top. And they go back to the slow it down offense. Ramsell. Pull it out on isolate all the way one-on-one with his defender, Mike Barry. Now he starts his dodge. Ramsell. Ushered away. Changes direction. Near side. Comes over to Parker. And the two juniors have been most of the offense today. Parker has both goals. Ramsell assisting on the last one. All-American last year was Parker. Final minute of play in the quarter. Near side now comes for Rothstein. Looks like Hills East will just hold, try and get the final shot of the first half. Try and get one more goal here and take a 4-goal deficit into halftime. Rothstein near side. Behind the cage. 30 seconds to play. Cameron Pierce, aggressive. Here's a pass, right on the crease. Shot, taking a goal. This time, it was Parker doing the dishing. And Ramsell on the finish. Plan works, you patiently wait. Now a big face-off. If you can get it, you come down and score real quick, makes a big difference. And that's exactly what Northport's looking to do, but Eccles puts this one away. And now Northport takes a timeout with just 12 seconds to go. Well, just 12 seconds remaining in the first half. Northport with possession as they nearly had a goal a moment ago. Flag down, so Northport likely will start the second half with possession and a man up. Let's see what the penalty is. So 7-3 as we go to the second half. Northport on top. Welcome back to Hills East and halftime. It's Northport with a 7-3 lead over the Thunderbirds. We'll take a look at the first half highlights. Well, Hills East got on the board early. It was 2 goals in 2 minutes. The second one by Napolitano, and that made it a 2-0 game. Hills East would not score until the midway point of the period when they had an extra man advantage, and it was Parker doing the damage. That would make it 2-1. It was 4-1 at the end of one quarter. Flash forward towards the end of the second quarter. Gilroy right on the crease, ripping it through, making it 7-2. But then a couple moments later, Parker finding Ramsell on the crease for Hills East. That made it a 7-3 game. And that's where we stand. We'll be back in a moment. Second half coming up on MSG Varsity. Start of the second quarter, Northport with a 7-3 advantage as well as possession and an extra man chance. A full minute after the penalty Gehringswald in the penalty box right now for Hills East. So Northport with a chance right away to build their advantage at the start of the second half. Cannon with it. He was looking to rip one through. It gets over to Pace. 3 goals today for Pace. Back over on the right side, Cannon now lets one fly, blocked in front. The ball ricochets out near the far sideline, and it's picked up by Mike LaRusso for Hills East. So a good job by LaRusso, one, getting in the way of the shot, and then picking up the ground ball as well. Ball's dropped along the far side. Passed ahead for Hills East into the stick of Corey Mears. Mears into the offensive box, and now Hills East can try and work some time off this penalty. But the ball's turned over back to Cannon on the ground ball. He loses it. And Hills East gets it back in their offensive box, and it looks like we're back, or getting back to even strength now. Yes, we are. On the cage, Parker, who's factored in all 3 goals today. 2 goals, 1 assist for Hills East. Now it's Bockelman up top. Ramosel again, who also has a goal and an assist today. You play that slow it down style. You chip away, as they try and battle back into this one down by 4. Across the game where you could get goals and get points so quickly. You're never quite out of it. And Northport obviously content with the results so far. They're letting Hills just kind of walk around back behind the cage, not putting any pressure on them to do too much. They say, hey, you get some time. You know, we're the ones with the lead. If you work the time off the clock, it's not working against us so much. I believe the official's hand did go up, so if they work it out of the box, it will be a turnover. Now defense slides over. Ramosel comes near far side, goal line extended up at the top of the box, loses his footing, tries to get the ball away, somehow still has it, then loses it. Ground ball squirts out near the football 15-yard line. Fight for it. Bodies flying all over. We'll have a whistle and a loose ball push against Hills East. Parker got up saying, I was the one down on the ground. How is it a Hills East push? Trainer brings the ball over the midfield line for Northport. Now he moves in, shoots, and misses wide. And Cannon back there backing up Ryan Cannon, the attacker. UNC-bound sophomore. Fishes the ball out from under the fence. Three and a half minutes gone by in the third quarter. 7-3. Northport the advantage. Holding up top is John Glancy. Left side, a rip of a shot and a goal. John Trainer, top left corner. And it's an 8-3 Northport lead. He had plenty of time to step into that one, and he used all the real estate given to him. Fraction against Hills East. Against Northport, pardon me. And again, Hills East down by 5. We have seen them come back from this before. But the way the Northport defense has played, it's been a real strong one, and a kick save, a great one by Troiano. And now a flag comes out. will go against Hills East. Bockelman's third penalty of the game. Right side for Northport. A little bit more than 4 minutes have elapsed in the third quarter. And Northport in control of the game right now, 8-3. And they have the man advantage as well. They didn't score on the last man up chance. Trainer will step into another one. Boy, that was a carbon copy of the play we saw just a moment ago. Skip pass, left point, Trainer buries the shot from about 15 yards out. Northport really in a position to pull away in this game. The stick ripped out of the hands of the Northport player. Dowd brings it over. Into the offensive box it comes here for Hills. Nice extra passing. Ramazell will put it on. Blocked away on the short side by Troiano. Weak side save. Nice job by Troiano to bring the stick over. Tries to outlet. Dowd picks it up. Not afraid to go over the midfield line. He gets it back into Bockelman. There's a pass and a goal. Ramazell finding Parker again. Third goal of the game for Parker. He's got 3 of the 4. Ramazell the other one. Ground ball picked up by Hills East. Corey Mears sets it up for Parker. 9-4. Northport on top. We approach the midway point of the period. It's a 4-goal advantage at halftime. Northport up by 6. That's the largest lead of the game at 9-3. But Hills East scored a goal a moment ago. And Bockelman pushed out of bounds. Turns it over to Northport. Pace into the attacking third. Here's a rip of a shot. Echold's got a piece of it, clamps down on it. And moves it up ahead. Here comes Dowd again, trying to run that fast break. Top left point. Extra pass right on the doorstep. Bockelman save made. An outstanding save by Troiano. Bockelman the ground ball. He goes down though. It looks like he got a little banged up. Five minutes remaining in the third quarter. Northport has possession. Bockelman okay. Comes off the field on his own. Now Dowd with it for Hills East, trying to spin through a couple of defenders. And it looked like Hills East got the timeout off just in time before Dowd lost control. Hills East down by 5 with 5 to play in the third quarter. Behind the cage. Up at the top right point now. Pass looking on the crease, gets through. Will roll out of bounds, trying to keep it inbounds with Shapiro, but to no luck. And they turn it back over to Northport. Yancey brings it up over midfield. Puts one on the net. Eccles, not a problem for him. Outlet pass. Hits the turf. Picked up back by Pace of Northport. Looks over the shoulder to his right. Over on the right side, good ball movement here. Cannon fighting in. Eccles with the save. Ground ball picked up by LaRusso. He fires one downfield. And this one might stay in. It will. Out of bounds, last touch by Northport. Troiano had it checked out of his stick by Ramazell, the captain. And if Hills comes back in this one, you might look at that last save by Eccles. That's a turning point. We shall see. Ramazell behind the cage, 3.5 to play in the third quarter. Looking in front, Northport doing a nice job guarding the crease. Ramazell trying to turn the corner, dumps it up top. Over to Tesserero. Ramazell gets it back, gets by his man, changes his stick hands and scores. Back to a 4-goal game, 3:02 to play, and Ramazell now has 2 goals and 2 assists on the game. Northport looked like they were starting to pull away. But Hills East continues to just kind of hang around down by 4. But a face-off infraction, and Seglia brings it up. Down causes the turnover, though. And Hills will try and clear. Crossfield pass comes for Corey Mears. And Mears was trying not to go over it. Ball hits the deck. And this is where Hills East has had most of their difficulties today, trying to clear the ball into a settled offense. Time runs out on the Thunderbirds, trying to get it over into the offensive box. .2:15 to play in this third quarter. Over on the right side, Cannon with it. A couple of assists today and a goal. The leading scorer on Northport, UNC-bound sophomore. That's right, he's already committed as a sophomore. Looks on the crease, a little bit behind his intended target though, and Sutherland couldn't hold on to it. Now Hills with some numbers. Pass a little behind, shot ripped in front, and blocked before it could get to the cage off the stick of Parker. Flag comes down, delayed penalty coming up. Ramazell turns the corner, tries to feed through the crease, little over the stick of Pellegrino. Now this Hills team seems to be playing with a bit more confidence on offense than they were earlier in the game. 2 goals in the last couple moments. Bachman feeds down low. On the right side, Parker up top. Nice defense, pushing aside Shapiro. Good credit to Northport, very aggressive defense on the man down. This ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by Pierce of Northport. Normally you see the box and one sort of settle down, but they are coming out of the cage aggressive, trying to put ball pressure on Hills East. Minute to play in the third quarter. Parker holds, now up top it comes. And they are really extending this Hills East offense out. The defense being aggressive. This one goes wide off the cage, side of the cage. As Ramazell tried to turn around quickly. A reward whistle against Craig Ronan. And Hills will have it back, but we're back to even strength now. Here comes Bachman, looks on the crease, pass gets through. And if it goes out of bounds, it will be Northport ball. So a turnover on Hills again. Northport needs to move quickly, just 6 seconds to go. Cannon looks down low, turnaround shot at the horn. It goes in for John Glancy. And Northport doubles up Hills East as we head to the fourth. It's 10-5. We'll be back in a moment on MSG Varsity. We start the fourth quarter, and boy, what a tough goal to give up at the end of the quarter for Hills East. That really could propel Northport forward. They double up Hills East. Lancy goes top shelf. And it's a 10-5 Northport lead. Matt Shortis, Aaron Lamont with you from Hills East High School, home of the Thunderbirds. They look right on the crease. Gilroy. Make it Jack Pace has his fourth of the game. And again, Northport just 26 seconds in. Very even distribution for Northport. You have Pace with 4, Trainer with 3. Five different goal scorers out of the 11 goals. Flag comes down. Behind the cage, here's Tyler Balkin. Troiano winds it up with it in his stick, but then loses it. Out in front, looking to center, ball batted down. Players going down, and there's a man down for Hills East, and it looks like Bockelman. So Bockelman walks off on his own. A little help from the training staff, but seems to be all right. He's going to take a seat on the Hills East bench. Over on the right side, here's a shot, just goes high over the cage. Off the stick of Napolitano. But kept alive, though, by Northport, and they come back and attack quickly. See this team, if they continue to play like this, they could maybe make some noise knocking off some of those big 3 or 4 in League One. And another goal. This Traynor came in with a big dodge and puts it in. So Pace and Traynor each with 4 apiece. Northport 7-4 today, but they've lost 3 of their games by a total of 4 goals. They were preseason pick number 5 in the league. And they're hoping that with 3 quarters of the season down, they start to turn that corner, become more, I guess, like the team that they're playing like today, George Searing hopes. And maybe they could crack in and crash the party of Ward Melville or Smithtown West or a West Islip, or even on that sort of 1B tier, Sachem North, if they could be right in that category. 9:25 to go. Here's the sophomore Cannon. And a young team, you know this team will be around next year as well. And only 6 seniors on their squad. Left side, this one beats the goalie. And that was Craig Ronan. 6th different goal scorer today for Northport. Well, a huge difference at about 6 minutes of game time. With 3:02 remaining in the third quarter, Hills East had just scored their 2nd consecutive goal, making it a 9-5 game, and it looked like they were starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe get one more, make it a 3-goal game for the first time since the first quarter ended. But then Northport has scored the last 4 goals and really basically put this one out of reach. And in a 13-5 game. There's still a good amount of time though, with 8 minutes to go, but Hills East has to average about a goal a minute to get back into this one. Ground ball picked up by the junior Gilroy. Younger brother of Northport great on the girls' side, Shannon Gilroy, who's now playing in her freshman year down at the University of Florida. Led the Tigers, the Lady Tigers, to a Long Island championship a year ago. And a win over Farmingdale. Program on the girls' side that's always near the top of the heap in Suffolk County and in Long Island. Here's Cannon, shot just wide. Rolls out of bounds, closest to it was Ryan Bonomi. Hills will make a substitution. Zach Shapiro coming at the attack. Cannon launches one low, but it's saved by Eccles. Yeah, here comes Buckham on the near side. Bounce shot. This one hit near side of the post. Rebounded though. Comes for Tyler Balkin. They work it back behind the cage for Ramazil. Well, due to the deficit, Hills can't really play with their strategy they've been employing through the first couple quarters, that slow down offense. They need goals, and they need them in a hurry with 7 minutes to play. Down by 8, 13-5. Northport advantage. Ball picked up on a bounce by LaRusso. Able to bring it over midfield, steps it in the offensive box now. LaRusso looking for some help. Dumps this off. Ramsell lost the handle and looked like he might have got caught up on that turf. He comes up a little lame, but he'll stay in the game. Coaching staff seeing that he came off like that, they're going to take him off and let him stretch out. It looks like he's favoring his right knee a little bit. It is a little slick here. It rained earlier today. The turf is a little bit wet. And this pass behind, and Northport will turn it back over. Pass right on the crease. Parker wings one towards the cage. And Troiano having a strong game between the pipes today. They've held Hills East to just 5 goals with 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Jones will try and charge in. Changes hands. Shoots one wide. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Jones, but Hills East was closest to it. These two teams had been very similar coming into today, 7-4 records. Northport slightly ahead in the standings because of those power points. Centering feed, this one goes in. No, a hit off the side of the cage. Tyler Bolkin thought he had a goal. And now Mike Traynor, the freshman, trying to bring the ball up the field, and a flag goes down with 5:07 to go. Northport will go on another man advantage. They have 3 goals off the EMO today. This gives Northport an excellent opportunity to just work that time off the clock. The push with possession sends Charles Buckham to the penalty box. Cannon holds up top. Under 5 minutes to play. 13-5. Northport on top. Cannon whistles one. This one blocked in front. It comes out. We'll have a loose ball push. Whistled against Mike LaRusso. Straight away, Pace and Traynor with 4 goals apiece. 2 midfielders on the right side. Here's a pass down low. Cannon off the head of his stick. Able to pick it back up though. Shot whistles just wide. Traynor came in with 18 goals today. He's got 4. Pace with just 13, and he's got 4 today. So strong games from the midfield. Most of the scoring for Northport comes from the attack, but their midfield doing the damage today. Not that time, though. Cannon just ripping one. And the lead is now 9 with 3:39 to go. Northport has scored 4 unanswered goals in the 4th quarter. And they've scored the game's last 5. It's 9-5 at one point. And another face-off win. Henningsen doing a real strong job today. Top of the box, straight away it comes for DeSeglia. Under 3 minutes to go. Ball comes loose, but then recovered by Ronan. And then Hills East able to create the turnover. Straight away, Carter Jones. Now Ramazell. Little hesitation, moves over to his right side. Double team comes, and he's forced back to retreat. 2:15 to play in the game. 14-5, Northport leads. There's Buckham getting by his man, wings one wide. He's back there to recover though. he and Nick Pellegrino. Now we're under 2 to play. Parker trying to get around his man. Dips and dodge. Parker puts one in. What an excellent individual talent Parker is. He's got 4 today. Face-off win for Northport. And it was the face-off man, Henningsen, looking for a goal. He had the open path, but Eccles came up with the save. Minute and a half remaining in the game. Here's Parker again, trying to go back to work. Around his man, but he lost the ball, able to recover. And he's being pushed all the way out near the restraining box. Delayed penalty coming up. Parker tries to wing one across the field, and the ball will hit the turf, and it will be a man advantage for Hills East with 1:12 seconds to go. Hills looking for their second goal in the last couple of minutes as they try and end this game on a high note. So the day belongs to Northport. With a 14-6 advantage, it looks like they'll improve to 7-4 in the conference, 8-4 overall. Final minute of play. Here's a pass again right on the crease, but this time Troiano comes up with a stop on Parker. Good game for Troiano. Another shot for Parker, another save for Troiano. Right on the crease. And a whistle looked like Hills East called a timeout before Northport was able to create the turnover. Northport ball with under 45 seconds remaining. And they'll just look to run out the clock here with 14-6 advantage. Ball thrown over midfield. Hills East continues to battle though, continues to pursue as they try and work the ball onto the stick of Mike Boland. 20 seconds to go, double team comes. And now that Northport's inside the box, they have to keep it in there in the final 2 minutes. Long pass comes out. Northport able to pick it back up with 5 seconds to go. And we'll have a push with possession, it appears. As Cameron Pierce took a little bit of a hit. Just 4 seconds remain though. And Northport will let the time run out. The Tigers victorious today. 14-6 winners, an impressive feat as they led wire to wire. It was Pace and Trainer who led the way offensively with 4 goals apiece. As the Tigers improved to 8-4 overall, 7-4 in league play. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap this one up on MSG Varsity. Welcome back to Hills East High School. Northport wins by a score of 14-6. Matt Short is here now with our MSG Varsity Player of the Game, Jack Pace, who had 4 goals in the winning effort for Northport. And Jack, you had the first goal of the game, and you know, once you get that first goal, do you kind of feel like you're in a pretty good rhythm?
Yeah, my motivation really went up from that. Helped me out a lot.
And you knew that this was an important game coming in, both teams with identical 7-4 records. How much was that talked about coming into today?
It was a big league game. Very well. I think we really needed to possess a lot more, you know, get the rhythm of the offense going, and we did pretty well in that, I think.
And it seems a lot of your goals and scoring comes from the attack. What was the difference where you and some of your other midfielders were putting the ball in the back of the cage today?
Yeah, the attack had some nice feeds, really helped us out.
Jack Pace again with 4 goals today for Northport as the Tigers win 14-6 over Hills East. They improve to 8-4 on the season. That'll do it for us. For our camera operator and producer Aaron Lamont, I'm Matt Shortis. We'll catch you next time as Northport winners today over Hills East.